So are these pay-to-play allegations trouble for Hillary Clinton? The Democratic strategist Simon Rosenberg and also Trump surrogate Steve Cortes. Simon, let me start with you because certainly it's dominating the headlines, and that's new for Hillary Clinton. Bad news, the first story out almost every news organization these days.
So 3 quick points. One is, Clinton still has a very substantial lead in this race. I don't think Democrats are worried that that's going to change. Trump hasn't done anything to cause us to be worried about him clawing his way back into this race. Second is, remember, the FBI had all these emails, right? I mean, they looked at all this stuff, and there was no criminal referral. And third is, if the Republicans are really adamant about doing something, Congress can do whatever they want. They can hold hearings. They can ask Hillary to come testify in the fall. It didn't really work for them before. I don't think they're going to do it. So rather than whining, right, why don't they take action, get something done this fall?
Steve Cortes?
Yes, well, first to Simon's one point, that's just not true that she has a wide lead. The lead is tightening dramatically. If you look at UPI and Pew as 2 examples, we're statistically tied right now. So there's tremendous Trump momentum. Regarding Hillary Clinton, I'm a proud, lifelong resident of the Windy City, but I would say this. You can take the girl, Hillary Clinton, out of Chicago, but unfortunately we can't take the Chicago out of the girl. She has brought Chicago-style corruption to the national and international stage. And in doing so, she is endangering our national security as a country. She is completely unfit to be our commander-in-chief, and the only way to resolve this is a special prosecutor.
You know, Simon, Donald Trump is calling for a special prosecutor, and more and more people feel like there's no resolution here. In other words, we understand what Comey said. Comey probably made it worse, not better, to be quite frank with you, although Hillary's not indicted criminally. The big question marks about her conduct, about her fitness, and about whether or not she'll bring a certain level of corruption to the White House, I think they're actually increasing, not going away.
Well, but I think we're having a debate about this. I mean, I think the public is going to be able to use this information, right, to cast judgment on the fall. And certainly the Republicans can use Congress, and as we heard, they've called for a special prosecutor. It's not like this is hidden. I mean, this is going to be part of the debate. I don't agree that the race is tightening at all. I think that's fantasy on the Republican side, and on the Trump side, she's got a wide lead in this race, but certainly this is going to be part of the closing debate. It's going to come up in the 3 major debates that we do. And Hillary Clinton, if she does a good job in explaining herself to the American people when she's called upon it, she'll win this race. If she doesn't, it may open the door for Trump. But right now, Democrats are not concerned.
Steve, Hillary Clinton had close to 300 Freedom of Information requests from a variety of news agencies. I mean, this AP report is 3 years in the making. So when there's sort of this idea that there's been transparency and that there's been cooperation, that certainly isn't true.
Right. Where there's smoke, there's fire, and there's a heck of a lot of smoke here. And even the mainstream media, which I think has done its very best to protect Hillary, and, Trump calls her hidden Hillary, which she largely has been. How in the world does she get away with not having a press conference? She's running to be the commander-in-chief of the United States, and she hasn't had a press conference this calendar year. She needs to step in front of the American people. She'll have to at the debate. She won't be able to ignore these issues there. She needs to step in front of the American people and transparently give them answers, because right now, she is unfit to be our commander-in-chief. We live in a very dangerous world, a world that's been made much more dangerous, frankly, by Secretary of State Clinton. And in a dangerous world like this, we cannot have these kinds of distractions for a commander-in-chief. So we need a special prosecutor in office in Washington, and we also need Donald Trump in the Oval Office in Washington.